Hey, what's up? It's your favorite homegirl, Kayana Rich, and welcome to The Rich Life. Now, if you're new here, my name is Kayana, and if you like all things beauty, astrology, spirituality, fashion, and lifestyle, I'm literally about to be your new favorite homegirl. If you're returning, hey, bestie, so glad that you're here with me. This video is like, it's the perfect time for this video to drop. This is going to be the Capricorn 2024 forecast reading. And how fitting is it for this video to drop literally in Capricorn season? This is literally your solar return month. Your year literally starts right now. So I'm super excited to be able to drop this video for you. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your other Capricorn babes, and also do not forget that this can be applied to your sun, moon, rising, or Venus. And this is a general message. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay. So as you guys know, I got my little notes. I have my little notes down to make sure, Capricorn, that I miss nothing for you as we enter this remarkable new ever-changing year for you. I'm super excited to be able to do this reading. And so first and foremost, let's really focus on what this year is asking of you, okay? So the first question that I really want you to ask yourself while we get into this reading is, what does it all mean to you, Capricorn? What does all the hard work that you're doing, what is all the lessons that you're learning, what are all the connections that you're building, the financial steps that you're taking, the self-care that you're giving yourself, like all these things, all these decisions that you're making, what does it all mean to you, okay? That's where we really want to start off our season talking about, is really figuring out, what do things mean to you. Now is a great time for you to be doing inventory on the things in your life that really matter, because again, your year has already started. Your new year has already begun. And so it's really important for you to get into the habit of just being very intentional with the moves that you make, and being very intentional with the people and the community that you are building, okay? So I really just want you to get into the habit of asking yourself, again, like I said, what does this mean to me? Now is not the time for you to be doing things that don't hold great value to you. Now is not the time for you to not be calculated on the things that hold great value to you, or the things that matter the most to you, because you are entering a new stage in your life. This spiritual year is going to really be about healing for you, okay? It's really going to be big on healing, on sharing and inspiring, and detoxing, okay? So healing, sharing and inspiring, and detoxing. So first, when we talk about healing and inspiring, or healing, sorry, healing is really going to more so be about you healing the parts of you that you have overextended this year. The parts of you where in 2023 you have overextended, you have overgiven, you have tried to play superhero to everyone at every time. You have tried your best to be more than what you are capable of giving, okay? Now is going to be the time for you to heal that part of yourself, because a lot of times what's happening while you're in this stage of overgiving and oversharing is you start to feel like, am I wrong? Am I doing enough? What am I missing? What am I not doing? How can I make things differently? How can I navigate and change things? How can I navigate and be a better person or do things better? And so it's really just important for you to heal those aspects of you where you feel like you need to be the superhero to everybody, when you're constantly and consistently not saving yourself, okay? This is going to be the season of you healing and really showing up for yourself in ways that maybe you're not necessarily used to showing up as. So that's what this season is really bringing forth for you, is just really allowing you to heal kind of that people pleasing, and really also allowing yourself to heal the relationship that you have with time. Now, time is not real. And while we know that, and while we know that you have the same 24 hours as anyone else does, you spend a lot of time giving to one thing, but you're not giving enough time to yourself. And what I mean by that is, Capricorns, you are always focused on, like, you have almost like an obsessive personality. Okay. And I mean this with love. I mean this out of love. You have an obsessive personality. And so a lot of times you obsess over one thing and you really dive deep into that. And it's really hard to get you out of that tunnel vision. For many of you, you dive into work and you will literally work 20 hours a day if possible, because your overall goal is financial abundance. Some of you will obsess over love, and you will spend 22 hours out of the 24 obsessing over romantic love, what your partner's doing, how you can continue to pour into love, how you can continue to find the partner of your dreams. And while those things are great, Capricorn, you have to learn how to find balance. You have to learn that you need to heal the inner child, the inner teen, the inner parts of you that feels like you need to overcompensate in other areas. And while it's not necessarily bad, sometimes it can really take over the experience that you're supposed to have in certain connections, because you over obsess and you over pour. And then what happens is you're pouring into someone else's cup, you're filling someone else's cup consistently, but you're not pouring into your own cup. You're not being consistent with pouring into yourself. And so you get into this space where it becomes very uncomfortable, and it becomes very hard for you to fathom what it looks and feels like when it's time for you to kind of step out of that, because you've overpoured into someone else's cup and now your cup is empty. And you've overpoured sometimes in situations where, yeah, like it would be great for you to help, but they can get themselves out of this one. It's nice that you want to help, but they can get themselves out of this. And that doesn't make you love them less. That doesn't mean that you're showing up for them less. That just means that you are putting yourself first, and you're not overbearingly giving and giving and giving and giving when you're receiving nothing back. So I think that that's going to be really important for you going forward, is just really making sure that you are not overextending yourself, and making sure that you're healing the parts of you that feel like you need to overcompensate. What is the relationship with you and money? Why you feel like you can never be broke? What is the relationship that you have with intimacy? Why you feel like you need to overcompensate because who you authentically are, or who you authentically show up as, may not be good enough. So really just kind of like unpacking those things so that you can learn to slow down, so that you can learn to enjoy things in the moment, so that you can learn to appreciate things while they're here. Okay. You guys have been consistent with your healing journey. You have been consistent, but a lot of times, Capricorn, you are still over fixating, you're still overcompensating, or you're over pouring. So you're healing, but you're over pouring into your healing because you feel like, if I allow myself to heal, then I'm going to get the love that I want, then I'm going to have the money that I want, then I'm going to have this that I want. And it's like, while working hard is one thing, over trying to overcompensate for something is a complete different obstacle. So I just want to kind of really make that clear, that I'm not telling you to not work hard at the things that you want, but I'm telling you that sometimes it's okay for you to authentically show up as yourself in those spaces, and to allow the universe to provide you with whatever it is that you need. And also, while you're authentically showing up in those spaces, don't feel like you need to overcompensate in order to get what you want, because you are, and you're able to achieve what you want simply by just working hard, not overcompensating. There's definitely a difference with that. Okay. And then when we talk about share and inspire, 2024, I really want you to share more of yourself and to inspire. Okay. So Capricorn, you are very good at, again, your work ethic is phenomenal. The way that you know how to hustle is underrated. You're probably one of the most hustle driven signs that there is. You are go-getters. You know how to get it out the mud. Like, these are things that I am not by any means questioning who and what you are, Capricorn. So I feel like, again, finding that healthy balance and then allowing yourself to share your process. So for many of you that are maybe watching this video and trying to figure out how you can find another stream of income, maybe looking into teaching something, or creating that content, or adding on another skill set that you already have, going back to school, like things like that. I feel like will, you naturally being yourself will inspire others, but you sharing your journey will allow you to alleviate some of that obsession that you might have over working 20 hours out of 24, and over never like really having a moment to relax. It will make another stream of income allow you to take a step back and actually see all the work that you've actually done. It'll give you the opportunity of feeling a little bit more grateful for where you currently are. I'm not saying that you're not grateful, but again, that overcompensation will kind of dull down. So Share your process, share your thoughts, share your ideas. Really work on curating relationships and friendships that pour into you, and pour into you in a way where you feel like it is natural. It is naturally fulfilling. It is naturally allowing you to be intimate and vulnerable. It is naturally allowing you to be your best self without you having to do too much, or without you having to step outside of yourself. I think that that's going to be really important. um I want to also say that detox. So, for a lot of you, gut health is going to be something that I really want to put at the forefront of your 2024 or your new year. Really focusing on your gut health, really focus on, doing a cleanse, doing a colon cleanse, doing fasting, going on a fruit fast, or going on, maybe a meatless journey for a few weeks. Like, really just kind of focus on your gut. Okay, for those of you who are, avid drinkers, or possibly smokers, or possibly just doing a lot of recreational things, now would be a really good time to put your body in reset mode, to put your body in the mode of just being able to strip all the gunk and all the like processed foods and all the chemicals that you may be intaking on a normal basis, because your life is constantly moving so fast that maybe you're not able to cook a home cooked meal all the time. Maybe you're not able to, lay off the energy drinks because you're tired, you're working all the time. Maybe, in your pursuit of romancing, you're eating out at restaurants all the time. So now you're financially drained, but now you're also physically drained. You have to really take that into consideration. So I think that it's really important for you to kind of give yourself that gut detox, and allow yourself the opportunity to just kind of like cut things, and start fresh going into the new year. So I think that that will be really, really, really beneficial for you as well. Now, when we look at the relationship with self, your self love relationship, I think that one of the main focuses for you, Capricorn, is accountability. It's going to be really important for you to hold not only yourself accountable, but the people around you accountable as well. Getting into the habit of not being afraid to tell people when they have you fucked up. Okay, when they are crossing boundaries that you are not comfortable with being crossed, when they are disrespecting you, when they're not making you feel valued, when they're not making you feel seen, when they're not making you feel heard, when they are not understanding where you're coming from. Really just holding people accountable to show up for you the way that you need, holding people accountable to treat you the way that you feel as though you deserve, and then holding yourself accountable to be able to communicate those things, and to be consistent with authentically showing up as yourself. Okay, that is something that I'm finding with Capricorns as of right now. Is, again, like I said, you are drowning a lot in your work, you're drowning a lot in your studies, you're drowning a lot in other things, but then it makes it very hard for you to authentically show up as yourself in the spaces surrounding people that need you to be as authentic as possible. You're not able to be your authentic self because you're super exhausted. You're not able to be your authentic self because you just don't have it in you right now to be that or to do that. So really just kind of giving yourself the opportunity to show up as your authentic self, to be as authentic as you possibly can, to not let people question who you are, what you're trying to do, where your journey is trying to go, what your journey is trying to take you on, and really just allowing yourself to step into that as healthy as you possibly can. I think that will be really major for you going into 2024. Um, with friendships, when we talk about your friendships coming into 2024, it's going to be really important, Capricorn, for you to nurture the relationships that you have. I want to kind of really echo making sure that you're showing up and you're being a friend, being the friend that you would like to have. Okay, making sure that you're being very intentional with that. You're allowing yourself to show up as the friend that you want to have. You're allowing yourself to create or have more intimacy with your friendships. You're allowing yourself to be a little bit more consistent with your friendships. Sometimes you get into the space where, life is overwhelming you, things are becoming overwhelming. And you kind of isolate. And while isolation is definitely okay, and you want to be friends with people who understand that sometimes you need to isolate, that sometimes isolation is what you need in order for you to recharge, I really want you to give yourself the opportunity to find a way, though, to pour into your friendships more, to build more, to network and find new friendships that can sustain the new levels that you're reaching, to allow yourself to really evaluate what kind of friends do I need in my life? What stage am I in my life right now? And what um, kind of friends do I need to show up? What kind of people do I need to show up? How do I need them to show up? How do I need them to be present for me? What do I need them to do to be present for me? Things like that I think is going to be really important. So really just start asking yourself the questions of, what does friendship look and feel like to me? And how can I continue to build and nurture the friendships that I already have? Or how can I continue to build and nurture the friendships that I'm already curating? I think that another thing that's going to be really important for you when we come to financial abundance is that you guys are going to definitely be reaping the benefits financially going into 2024. However, I do need to emphasize, Capricorns, you need to be very wary of how you spend your money. You need to be very wary of where you're putting your money, where your money's going, how your money's being spent. What are you doing with your money? What are you feeling like with your money? It's going to be really important for you to be very responsible when it comes to your finances, okay? Now is not the time for you to overindulge. Now is the time for you to invest, whether you're investing in your business, whether you are investing in an investment account, saving your money. Um, Now is not the time to frivolously spend, okay? Now, while I do think that a vacation is on the horizon for you, and it is something that is well deserved, because again, being Superman and Superwoman, or being a superhero for everyone in your life, can definitely take a toll on you. It can definitely become something where you become exhausted. You no longer have the energy to be everything to everyone. So just finding some time to really unplug and finding some time to really give yourself the opportunity to have a vacation is going to be chef's kiss for you. That's probably the only thing that I can really say that I would recommend you spending your money on, whether it be a staycation, whether it be an actual vacation, just finding some time to really be able to pour into yourself again. I think that's going to be really beneficial for you coming into this year, and is really going to bring in a dose of luck, or a dose of abundance for you that you're really looking for. Now, when it comes to your romantic relationship or love relationships, I feel like there is a need for an apology. I feel like 2024 is going to be bringing in an apology. So either you have to facilitate an apology to someone, or someone is feeling like they need to facilitate an apology to you. I do feel like it is going to get to the point where, you know, you might be in a space of tug of war, where you are both just trying to figure out who's going to say something first, or the person on the receiving end is going to be asking themselves, can they accept this apology? And I think that one of the biggest things that I want to say when it comes to love is that, Capricorn, you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable. You have to allow yourself, again, to be authentically show up as yourself, and not be afraid to ask for help when you need it. A lot of times I feel like for you, Capricorn, sometimes you get into romantic relationships, you need that support, you need that love, you need someone to show up for you, but you're so used to always being the person that shows up for everyone else, that it's very difficult for you to know what to ask for. It's very difficult for you to know what you need, or know what to say that you need. And so while I think that it is it's very great that you are such a devoted lover, or you're such a devoted provider in any capacity, I think that it's also very important for, you know, any romantic relationship that you're going into. I do think that it's also very important for you to give yourself the opportunity to really communicate what it is that you need other people to do for you, and what it is that you need other people to do in the sense of showing up for you, and what that showing up looks and feels like. um so I feel like now, when we're looking at your career, again, you have been on the spinning wheel, okay? You have literally been on the spinning wheel when it comes to your finances, and when it comes to your career. I think that 2024 is really going to ignite entrepreneurship for a lot of you. And for those of you who are not necessarily sure how entrepreneurship can really venture into something, I think that this is going to be the time where you take on more responsibility in the workplace. This is going to be the year where you find yourself getting promoted to managerial, head office, or head space, like, you know, top spaces, or this is going to be the year where you decide to step into something that feels a little bit more entrepreneurial, which feels a little bit more in the sense of you are becoming a business owner. You are facilitating new ways of making money. And I feel like a lot of these facilitations of new ways of making money is going to be, like I said before, where you find that time to learn a new skill. You find that time to create new content. You find that time to really just pour into nurturing yourself and advancing yourself. So if you've been looking to maybe get a promotion, if you've been looking into where you can kind of navigate or go with your career, or where you can navigate and go with, being more so of a business owner, now would be an amazing time for you to kind of really step into that. Now would be a time for you to explore what online programs or certifications that you can find. Now would be a great time for you to start to shadow people who are in the position that you are maybe interested in. Doesn't mean you have to fully commit to these positions, but really just kind of navigating how you can get into that position next, I think is going to be really great for you. I also feel like, when it comes to your career, again, creating those healthy connections and building on them. You're going to have to network, Capricorn. You can't physically be at the job all the time, but then never want to go to the job events or never want to go to the work events. That's going to be how you network and upscale in your career. You're a very hard worker, but you don't like the networking portion of it. And so you have to really learn to be comfortable with juggling both. And if you're someone who is branching into entrepreneurship, while it is great for you to do your research and do things online, there are still some groundwork that you have to do. You have to get comfortable with speaking to strangers and letting them know what products and services that you offer. You have to be willing to put yourself out there and connect and communicate more and connect and express to other people more what it is that you offer and what it is that you're looking to gain. So you really have to kind of get into that habit of just being willing to communicate and express what it is that you need and what it is that you're looking for when it comes to your career. Okay. Again, when we were talking about family relationships, I think that one of the biggest things for you, honestly, Capricorn, is you cannot save everybody. Okay. You can't save everybody financially. You can't save everybody emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally. You can't save everybody. And so there is going to have to be a time where you become really comfortable with just setting the bar, setting the expectation. I don't have the money to give you right now. I don't have the capacity for this. I don't have the ability to do this. You can't always be a yes man to the people that you love. And while I know that that sounds a little cold and that sounds a little harsh, you're draining yourself in the process. So finding that balance of still being able to be a support system for the people that you love, but also being able to be a support system for yourself is going to be really, really key. Okay. All in all, I feel like this new solar return in 2024 is going to be a really big expanding year for you, Capricorn. I really do feel like if you could just allow yourself to expand a little bit more and not be so laser focused on one thing and really just be intentional and loving and kind to yourself, you can really see 2024 be the year where you step into another version of yourself and you allow yourself to be reintroduced. I do think that there is going to be lots of love and lots of financial abundance. But again, healing yourself is going to be key. And allowing yourself to be healed is going to be number one priority. So I really just want to say happy solar return, my Capricorn babies. I really hope that this reading resonates for you. I hope that you can take tidbits away from it and really apply it to this new solar return year for you. And happy new year. Bye.